All right, so if you're just joining us, welcome back. It's Alan from Vancouver. Glad to have all of you guys here for our first call for January 2010. Now, what we're going to be discussing today, the topics, we're not going to keep this call too long, guys, but I want to give you an outline as to exactly what we're going to be focusing on, exactly what we're going to be doing, or more so how we're going to be able to generate the kind of results I've been talking about in the emails and in the past few messages and even just before I turned this recorder on. And to make a long story short, what we're going to do for this year is specifically focus on elevating the amount of eyeballs of people that find you through the internet. Now, this is really, really important, you guys, because, throughout the past 6 or 7 years that I've been here, I've noticed that most people generally, including myself, we can build subscriber bases. Between going up to friends and family to learning to do Google cost per click, a little bit of Facebook, maybe some YouTube, doing some flyers here and there. I mean, there's no question, if you're working for yourself, if you're in a home-based business, then obviously you know how to generate some form of traffic, right? The challenge to what we've discovered is that 90 to 95% of the people that you and I meet are people that are not going to be interested in making a fast action or decision to buy or take part in your home-based opportunity. And it's for whatever reason. Financially, they're not ready. Emotionally, they're not ready. Maybe they haven't seen enough of you. Maybe they don't feel that they can trust you yet. Maybe they've got a ton of options. Maybe it's just the wrong timing. Who knows? But bottom line is that statistically, what we found is that 90 to 95% of people just aren't going to be ready for the meantime. So that leaves you with an average of 5% of those people, 5 out of every 100, they're going to say, yeah, you know what, I'm serious. I need to get something going. I need to get something going now. But you got to ask yourself that one question. Okay, before I even go on, ask yourself, number one, for the past few weeks or months, or some of you for the past few years, for the majority of people that you've spoken to about your home-based business opportunity, have you noticed that the majority of people either A, lean towards you initially and say to themselves, you sound like the right kind of guy or like right kind of gal for me. Sounds like the right kind of opportunity. Here's my credit card. Let's go. Is that usually what you hear? Or do you usually hear the opposite, which is, well, I don't know. It might not be for me. Is it really legal? Can you make money? I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? What you'll find is that most people usually get that. They'll usually get the negative response. Now ask yourself, when was the last time you had even 100 people that you were able to promote your business to, whether it's face-to-face, email, video marketing, over the phone, whatever the case is. When was the last time you were able to get 100 people like that and get them exposed to your opportunity or your products in a fast-paced basis? For most people, they usually end up saying, well, I barely hit 50. I've barely spoken to 100 people. And if you felt that you're in that situation, or you feel that you've been there or that you're still in that situation now, then chances are is you're probably also noticing that the results that you've pulled in up to this point, they've been okay, but they probably haven't been the exciting, the exhilarating, the financially rewarding kind of results that you came here for. Agreed? Now let's face it, if we're going to work here, if we're going to spend our time in the home-based business industry, if we're going to invest in ourselves and in our brains and in our knowledge to grow, then this pace of what we've been doing all this time has been good, but it's not good enough compared to what you deserve to gain in results. So that's one of the first reasons why, as to why I've mentioned, if you're going to create any goal for yourself, I want to strongly suggest do not shoot for anything less than 100,000 eyeballs. Now, whether you believe that you have the ability to do that or not, at this point is irrelevant. So if you're listening to my voice right now and you're thinking to yourself, Alan, that sounds really cool. 100,000 people, I mean, wow, I'd love to do that, but buddy, I've never done that before in my life. How the hell am I supposed to do that? If you're in that phase, I want you to know that right now you don't have to know all the exact steps up front. The first thing that I want to ask you to do, though, is ask yourself, can you or will you? It's not really a question of can, because you can do whatever you want. The question is, will you stay committed to developing that process? If I can personally show you exactly what steps you need to take to produce that kind of result. Because the truth is that while we've been spending all this time away for Christmas holidays, taking a little bit of time off, I've been taking time off too, guys, because I've been sick. But while I've been sick, I've been taking part in some training programs from guys like Mike Dillard. And during the holiday season, I had a chance to take part in one of his private teleseminars that you have to pay for, but it's exclusive to subscribers. And what he outlined, is this. Something it blew my mind when he helped me realize exactly what the potential was. He said right now his home-based business, his marketing funnel, not his business, but the video systems, the sales series, the automated sales funnel that he's developed that you guys are learning to create for yourselves, right now averages anywhere between 400 to 600 leads per day. So every single day he gets 400 to 600 opt-ins of people that found him online somewhere, some way, somehow. And they decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to start a relationship with Mr. Mike Dillard. Here's my name. Here's my email. Show me what you got. Statistically, what he taught us, though, is that 38% on average, an average of just under 40%, of those opt-ins are people that were generated from from Google AdWords. So if you've done AdWords before, you know that it's a cost per click basis. People click on your site, some of them opt in, some of them don't, right? Excitingly enough, though, he said this is the first time in the history of his career that out of those 600 average per day opt-ins, he said over 42% of them, nearly half, are people that found him through places like Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Guys, think about that. Twitter. Do you have to pay for it? No. Facebook. Do you have to put money into that? No. YouTube. Do you have to fork out hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for that kind of online broadcasting? Hell no. It's free. And he said this is the first time in world history, to what he's seen, not even just in his career, but just into anything that has to do with online advertisement, where you could actually generate over 300 prospects a day, which is what he's physically doing without spending a dime. Think about that. The only thing that he actually had to spend on was the education that he needed to gain in order to be able to produce that kind of result. But in terms of the physical marketing, guys, let me ask you, when was the last time that I ever brought up a point of saying, hey, you know what, you can generate 100, 200, 300 prospects a day and you don't even have to pay for it? I've never said that. Everything I've ever known about generating the majority of my prospects has usually started off with Google advertising, right? And then we developed like affiliate programs where those prospects would share our advice and our materials with their friends for something in return, like a piece of software, some free training or something. But that it usually started off with Google. Well, now you guys can generate over 100 prospects a day eventually within this year just by using those 3 services.